Hi, this is Bird from Bird's SVGs, and in this video I'll be showing you how I put the Celtic Shamrock card together. So first of all, I'll be starting with the card base. I'll fold it in half and then I'll work on the insert pieces. So we have this pattern paper liner piece. So I'll be gluing that directly on the inside of the card. And then I have an insert piece here, which is the white piece where you can write the message to your recipient. But I've shaped this to kind of echo the detail on the front of the card. And again, I'm gluing this directly down inside the card. And then once I'm happy with the position, I'll set the card aside and we'll work on the front pieces. So first of all, we have your pattern paper piece, and then we have a matting layer for behind it. So I'm just gluing those directly on top of each other, and then this can be glued onto the front of the card. Or alternatively, you could put 3D adhesive on the back of this panel for some extra dimension. So once I'm happy I've got all of my pieces central to the card with even borders, then I can start to work on the Celtic Shamrock element for the front of my card. Now this front piece is the most challenging to glue. It is a lot easier with these precision tips. And although I did try to put glue everywhere, I don't think you really need to. If you can get the outside layers, there's about 2 outside lines, if you can get some glue here and there on that, and then just a couple of dabs on those central elements inside each leaf, then that should be enough to hold it down. I always tend to overdo these things, and I was kind of chasing the clock because by the time I was most of the way around, the bits at the beginning were starting to dry, so I went over a few of those again. But really, I am trying to add too much glue on too many places. Really, you only need to add a few dabs here and there and it will hold down. And then of course, if any bits do try and lift up, there's the spatula trick, which is if you've got any spatulas that are used for lifting our pieces off our cutting mats, those are ideal for adding a little bit of glue to and just tucking it underneath any parts that are lifting up. And it'll add just a little bit of glue on the underside without bending or hurting the card at all. Okay, so I've put that in place as best I can, and now I'm adding some glue to the back of the pattern paper piece. As you add each layer together, it gets easier and easier because they get slightly larger. And again, I'm gluing this directly down onto the next layer. And then I'm going to flip this over, and having 3 layers, it is fairly sturdy. You just need to cut, if you're going to add glue, 3D foam pads onto the back like I do, you just need to snip them down a little bit so they're thinner. Or alternatively, you could use 3D glue dots or glue gel, silicone glue. Okay, so I'm just lifting the backing off my 3D foam pads, and I went a bit crazy again and adding them everywhere. And then I'm lining this piece up so it's central to my card. And to do that, the top and the bottom line up with the top and the bottom of the pattern paper, and the sides line up with the outer edges of the card. So if you look at those, then you know you've got it, you know, central. And that's the card completed, and we can move on to the envelope, which has got a Celtic design. So, oh, there's a piece that didn't pop out. Okay, so you need to fold in all your the flaps on your envelope. Then you just need to add just a tiny bit of glue to the bottom edge of the sides, and then the bottom, just hold your bottom in place for just a moment for the glue to take hold, and then you can pop your liner in. So you slide your liner in, make sure that it's central and you've got an even border when the liner is up, and then hold it in place, fold that top over, and then you just need to add a little bit of glue to the top two edges, and that's all you need to do to put your liner in. And if you're nervous about sending a detailed envelope in the post, I've put a extra folder in your download saying plain envelopes, and that's the same envelope without the Celtic detail on the front. So if you're nervous about popping it in the post, that's there for you. So I hope that your recipient enjoys their card.